The White House pushing BP to the brink of bankruptcy. And that's sending a clear message around the world. America is now a hostile environment for business. There's a recipe for a disaster in the economy. Joining me now to explain is the man who shatters conventional wisdom when it comes to capitalism and freedom. John Stossel, host of Fox Business Network. Stossel, well, it's nice they let you name the show after yourself.
They just picked it. Well, I guess I can't object to that.
Should the government be involved in cleaning up the BP mess, or should BP do it using its own facilities and its own management?
Well, I mean, government can't even count the votes accurately, so I don't know how government is competent to clean up the mess. If they have equipment, it ought to be used. They certainly should get out of the way of the states that claim they have ways to clean it up.
We know that BP wanted to drill in 500 feet of water where they're very familiar with it and they can deal with what goes on at the bottom of the earth because the water's not that deep. The state of Louisiana said yes, it was over the horizon. It was the federal government that said go out to 5,000 feet. We'll limit your liability, but we'll tell you where to drill. Didn't the feds sort of create a safety net for recklessness by limiting liability like that?
Sure, they wanted more bids because they wanted more money to come into the Treasury, and that was the compromise they worked out. But even more than drilling in shallow water, how about the fact that the feds have owned half the land out west and banned drilling on 75% of that? That'd be the safest place.
Why have the feds banned drilling in an area where it would be safe, efficient, and productive?
Because some people don't want drilling anywhere near them. I mean, it used to be NIMBY, not in my backyard. Now I think it's banana. Build absolutely nothing anywhere near anybody.
Would you admit to any regulations with respect to drilling in the Gulf of Mexico? Or do you prefer that the earth under the ocean be privately owned and the owners of it be able to do with it as they see fit?
And then the pollution control would be controlled by private liability suits.
Absolutely.
I mean, pure libertarians argue that, and it took me a long time to absorb that because pollution control rules is, I thought, one role for government. And thank God we've had air and water pollution rules because they have made the rivers and the lakes and the air cleaner. You know, might this system work?
Wait a minute, did I hear you right? Thank God we have laws from the federal government that keep the air and the water cleaner. The federal government that you just said can't count the votes?
Well, they can pass a rule and say private industry has to limit how much you can pollute. They can't. They're incompetent at building the scrubbers or the catalytic converters that will get the job done. But when we were in college, you couldn't open a window in New York because the air was so filled with soot. The river in the congressman's district caught fire. I now can swim in the Hudson because we have sewage treatment.
Earlier this week, the president and the vice president said to the chair of BP, give us $20 billion or we'll take it from you. Did they forget the Constitution?
They've been forgetting the Constitution for a long time.
They have. John Stossel, it's always a pleasure. Join this weekend. John Stossel's show, Stossel, airs Saturday at 9 p.m. and midnight and Sunday at 10 p.m.